Welcome back to Bike Speeds. In today's video we're going to talk about the importance of torquing your bike correctly to the correct specifications. It's no good going over modern race bikes with an Allen key and expecting the bike to survive racing, training, etc. without problems, and also not to break components through over tightening. If you've got a bolt that's a set size with a set thread against a set component, maybe aluminium, you need it to be able to pull that component perfectly, not over tight to put stress on the component or stress on the bolt, and also you don't need it too loose that the parts will fall apart. So we're going to run through this bike today. We're going to torque it all up and we're going to show you the different type of torque wrenches that we use and the way to go about getting your bike spot on. Right, so the first thing to explain is there are several different types of torque wrench. We have here the 1/4 inch drive, which we use for the majority of bikes. We have the 3/8 drive, which we tend to use. This is a snap-on, it does left and right handed threads, so I tend to use this for bottom brackets and pedals that are Allen key fitted. And then we have the larger 1/2 inch drive, which we use for the heavier tools like for cassettes and bottom brackets, etc. We tend to use that one only for that, and pedal we use this for that as well, which you'll see during the video. So this is sort of explaining how a torque wrench works. You have your Newton meters going up in a scale there, which you can see from on this one where it's set at the moment, 4 up to 20, and you then wind this round in increments around 0.1, 0.1, etc. right the way through to, you might have like 4.9. You can get it between your each Newton meter, and then for the purpose of most bikes you'll be tending to use 5, 6. That's one of the most common measurements on a bike, so you just set that to 0. Then we use a nice little 1/4 inch drive socket set like this. This has got all your Allen keys that you need for the majority of what you're working on, star fittings, etc. for brake calipers and such like, and this is a good all-round set that you'll use for the majority of your bike work. As you move onto your bike, a lot of components these days have your Newton meters written on them. You can see there 5 to 6 Newton meters. I always pick bang in the middle, so I do 5.5. Occasionally I'll sit at the top tier at 6 maybe. This is a pedal arm, Shimano, says 13 to 14 Newton meters. I tighten it to 13. So when you're doing your torquing, your components, it depends on which component you're doing as to how you would do it. But when we've got like the crown here on the stem, I always do things in diagonals and opposites, as you can see I'm pointing to here. So top to bottom in opposites rather than round in a circle. Cross across. So we'd start at the first one, 5.5 Newton meters, and you get your first setting. Now what you'll see the torque wrench will click. You'll actually feel a physical click, and you'll see the arm will actually click away. That's when it's reached its perfect measurement there. Click. That's set. That's now torqued. That's correct. So there's no need to turn it anymore. You've done that one. So now we go to the bottom one. Up across the diagonal to the next one. Now when you've got more than one bolt, you always want to check them, because you can torque the first one, the second one will pull that material in and that will slacken the first one, especially on these stem bolts. So 5.5 Newton meters click, 5.5 Newton meters click, just double check it. 5.5 Newton meters, 5.5 Newton meters, that's perfect. So when there's more than one bolt, always do them twice. But when there's one bolt like this, you pull in the Newton meter, click. Pinch bolts especially, you can stop an awful lot of fraying of your cables by getting this measurement right. These measurements are all on our website. We have a torque setting area within the website under servicing. You can find that, and like I say, each bolt is just tightened to its specific specification. All manufacturers have these on their websites as well. Like I say, most components these days also have them. Mount bolts we're now about to do. So the cables are typically 5 to 7 Newton meters for the front, and the pinch bolt on the rear is actually less. It's 3.9 to 5.9 meters on that particular Shimano one there. And this mount bolt for the derailleur is 8 to 10 Newton meters. And then we're working on these pedals. So I have a set system, a set way that I go through a bike. On our service sheets we always have that rhythm. Is for you to decide your perfect rhythm. I tend to start at the front of the bike and work my way back under a normal service. This is the Park Tool Crow foot socket, TWB15. I use a heavier 1/2 inch drive socket for this. Most pedals under Shimano range are 35 to 42 Newton meters. This I do to 40 because I also do the cassettes to 40, so I actually have this torque wrench set at 40 Newton meters at all times because I just use it for pedals, bottom brackets and cassettes. Now your left hand pedal is a left hand thread, so you just need to swing over the frame and hold it towards you, and you're actually then torquing left handed, so you can use that on both sides of the frame. This is a cassette tool for the Shimano and this is set to 40 Newton meters. So we just remove the quick release skewer, just give that a little click. That's perfect, so that's nicely done and the bike is ready to almost roll. And yeah, that's looking good. This is a very important one because you can actually damage your frame. If you over tighten this, you can put strain on the seat post tube. Saddles will often come loose if they're not tight enough, so you always want to check the specifications. This one is 22 Newton meters. Torque wrench actually goes up to 20, so that is more than adequate enough for this bolt. But if you over tighten them, you'll strip the threads in the bolt and they'll come loose. If you under tighten them, they'll just naturally, through vibration and your weight sitting on them all the time, will come loose. And that's your bike ready to ride. Please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.